Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my channel. So today I'm training triceps and this is going to be a voiceover. So I decided to start my workout with the lying triceps extension with dumbbells on a flat bench. Now in these vlogs I want to make them a little bit more informative and give you some information about, I want to actually be helpful. So I will be giving you tips and advice about building the muscle that I'm training on these vlogs. So I decided to start with this exercise because it's one of my favorites, because it works all three heads of the triceps. And obviously the way I'm doing this exercise is going to work, it's going to work all three heads, but usually to work more long head you need to be doing all of your exercises overhead. So if you want to emphasize the long head more, I would say it's a very good idea to use a barbell and make sure that your arms are extended, and make sure that you're doing the exercise behind your head. Obviously don't turn the exercise into a pullover because we're trying to work the triceps. So usually that's one of the reasons why I like to do at least 2 different exercises for every muscle group, is because on a certain exercise where it's a little bit harder to do the exercise with the correct form, a lot of people struggle with that. That's why I like to do at least two different exercises. So that's why you're going to see, after I finish with my 2 sets of the lying triceps extensions on the flat bench, I'll move on to the standing dumbbell overhead extension. Now on the dumbbell overhead extension, I would say it's again one of my favorite exercises, even more than the lying extension. Now the reason why is because it's a lot more strict. The nature of the exercise, it's a lot more strict, because usually on this variation you can't really turn that exercise into a pullover, because actually on the lying variation, if you actually extend your hands too much and you try to do the exercise behind your head, your body naturally likes to use different muscle groups together to actually move that weight, and you're going to cheat. Basically you're cheating because you're not strong enough to perform the exercise with that weight. So that's why I'm going to recommend for you to lower the weight and actually focus on performing the exercise with good form first. Learn how to do the exercises with the right form, and then you can add some weight. But that's why I'm such a big fan of the dumbbell overhead extension, because you can't really cheat. You can try, but it's close to impossible to actually cheat on that exercise. And I would say, just because the nature of the exercise is very strict, it's going to build more triceps, maybe compared to the lying extension if you're doing it the wrong way. A lot of people are doing the exercises the wrong way. Now I'm going to say that a lot of people make the mistake of limiting their range of motion because it's hard, again, to lift more weight, add more weight and do more reps. But again, that's not going to lead to better muscle growth. And actually using less weight but doing the full range of motion is going to lead to better muscle growth of the triceps and in every other muscle group, because the range of motion is going to play has always played a huge role in building a lot of muscle. A lot of people don't know about that, but I'm telling you, in order to maximize the size of a certain muscle group, you need to be training that muscle group to its longest range of motion, that it's safe. The safe longest range of motion. Now for the triceps, as you can see, that's the longest safe range of motion. That's not going to cause any pain, but it's going to build a lot of muscle. Because if you're actually doing partials, yes, you're going to lift a lot more weight and you'll be able to do a lot more reps, but you're not really doing anything in terms of muscle building, because that's going to be important, the range of motion always. So I would say stop doing partials. You need to actually focus on very good form. I mean, I'm going to repeat that every time. Very good form and the full range of motion. And as you can see, I'm training very hard on these sets. These sets that you're seeing, they are very challenging, and you can see that I actually pause for a second just to remove the momentum and to get the stretch at the bottom of the movement. Again, that's going to stimulate a little bit more muscle growth, because the triceps, when you remove any momentum, it has to work even harder to lift that weight. And that stretch is really going to stimulate even more muscle growth, because you're stretching that muscle. Usually that's like the body's defense mechanism of when it's time to build muscle. That's how your body is trying to protect you. So that's why it's very important to do these challenging sets very close to failure or to failure. Now, if you have more experience, you will know when to actually stop the set. But if you don't have the experience, that's most people, I would say be careful on certain exercises. Like the bench press, for example, the squat, barbell curls. I would say be very careful on any curl, especially the preacher curl. I would say be very careful, pick the right weight for you. Maybe that's when progressive overload actually works for this type of people that don't have the experience. But usually, if you have enough experience, you will know when the next step is going to be a failed step. That's when you have to stop. But on certain exercises, it's not a smart idea. So that's why maybe progressive overload is not such a bad idea. You can just do a certain rep range, like 10 to 15, whatever, and you just add weight when you reach 15 reps on all of your sets. So, but obviously with very good form. And yeah, on preacher curls, I would say, especially on the eccentric, be very careful. Always be in full control of the movement. Now, I'm not telling you to do very slow negatives, but just start to be in control. Don't just let go of the weight. I don't think that's smart. That's never smart. So yeah, it's going to build a lot of muscle if you do the full range of motion and do challenging sets. And science has proven that training very hard is going to lead to more gains. Now, that doesn't mean that training to failure is required, because it's not. And actually taking the sets beyond failure is also not required, and it's actually not very safe to do. And it's just going to negatively impact your recovery and training performance on your next workouts, and that's something very important, to actually be recovered on time, to be able to at least repeat the same training performance as your previous workout for that same muscle group that you're training now. because that's actually going to stimulate a lot more muscle growth. So please subscribe to my channel. Please help me grow. Like this video, leave a comment down below. If you're interested in custom training programs or online personal training or custom videos, you can contact me on my email or my Instagram. I'm going to leave both in the description down below. Again, thanks for watching. If you want to see a specific video, please let me know, give me some ideas, and I'm going to record that, and yeah, I'm going to upload it. So again, thanks for watching. See you very soon.